So, let's dive into one of the most powerful spiritual guidebooks ever written, the Bhagavad Gita. Now, what's fascinating is that this profound conversation happens in the most intense place imaginable, a battlefield, right at the moment when a great hero is about to completely break down.
Okay, so picture this. The stage is set for an epic war. On one side, you have the 5 Pandava brothers, and on the other, their 100 Kaurava cousins. The Kauravas basically cheated the Pandavas out of their kingdom. After years of exile, the Pandavas come back to ask for what's rightfully theirs, but the Kauravas won't give them an inch. So, war is the only way forward.
And right at the center of all this is our hero, Arjuna. Now, this guy is the greatest warrior of his age, the champion of the Pandava army. But as he stands there, on the very brink of battle, he's hit with an absolutely paralyzing moral crisis.
And this is where it gets incredibly personal. Arjuna looks out across the field, and he doesn't just see an enemy. He sees his family. He sees the teachers he looked up to his whole life, his own grandfathers, uncles, cousins, his friends. The people he loves and respects are literally staring back at him from the other side.
This is the question that shatters him. You see, as a warrior, his sacred duty, his dharma, is to fight for what's right. But how can he do that if it means killing his own relatives? He's convinced it's a terrible sin, one that will bring ruin to his entire family for generations. He just throws down his bow and says, "I can't do this."
But here's the thing. Arjuna isn't alone in his chariot. His driver is none other than Lord Krishna, who is really God in human form. And right here, Krishna shifts from friend to spiritual master. His first lesson, though, isn't what you'd expect. It's not sympathy. It's a dose of mind-bending truth.
Wow. Can you imagine hearing that? Krishna basically tells him his grief is totally misplaced, because it's based on a misunderstanding of what's real. He's saying, you're mourning for something that's temporary, not what's eternal. Krishna is about to completely redefine reality for him.
And this chart really breaks down Krishna's first big idea. On one side, you have the body. It's temporary, it changes, it can definitely be harmed. But the soul? That's another story. It's eternal, it's unchanging. You can't cut it with a weapon, you can't burn it with fire, it's indestructible. Arjuna is so focused on the body, he's forgotten about the real self, the soul that lives within it.
This is probably the most famous analogy in the whole Gita, and for good reason. It just makes the idea of reincarnation so simple and clear. Death isn't the end, it's just a transition. The real you, the soul, just moves from an old, worn-out body to a new one, kind of like you change your clothes. So from this point of view, the physical act of killing in this battle isn't actually destroying the true essence of anyone.
Okay, so once Arjuna starts to grasp that the soul is eternal, Krishna doesn't just leave it at that. He gives him a practical path, a way to actually live and act in the world with this new knowledge, without getting tangled up in the consequences.
And that path is called karma yoga, the yoga of action. The big idea here is that it's not what you do that matters most, it's how you do it. This was a revolutionary concept. It meant you didn't have to go off to a cave to be spiritual. Your work, your duty, could be your path. The key is to do your job. For Arjuna, that means fighting, but completely let go of any attachment to the result. Whether you win or lose, succeed or fail, that can't be your motivation.
So how do you actually practice this? Well, Krishna lays it out in 3 basic steps. First, do your duty. Whatever your role is in life, do it to the best of your ability. Second, and this is the hard part, you have to give up your attachment to the fruits of your labor. Don't worry about the rewards or recognition. And third, you do everything as an offering, a kind of worship to something bigger than yourself. When you do this, your work stops being a chain and starts being a key to freedom.
And this is a really important point. Karma yoga isn't an excuse to be lazy or passive. No, the wise person acts with everything they've got, but they do it without any selfish agenda. They act simply because it is the right thing to do, because it's their duty. And by doing that, they become a role model for everyone else.
But an offering to what exactly? This is where Krishna expands Arjuna's viewpoint from his personal problem all the way out to the entire cosmos, revealing the ultimate reality that makes selfless action meaningful. So here, Krishna reveals his true divine nature. He's not some distant god sitting on a cloud. He is the very fabric of existence itself. He is the taste of water, the light of the sun, the sacred sound Om that is the source of everything. He is in all things. And to really make it clear, he gives all these incredible examples. He is the very best of everything.
He's the lion among beasts, the most beautiful of the sacred texts, even the greatest devotee, Prahlad, who was born among those considered demons. Krishna is the raw strength in a strong person, and the sharp intelligence in a brilliant mind.
And then comes the truly mind-blowing part. Krishna says that this whole universe, with all its galaxies and wonders and beings, all of it is supported by just a tiny, infinitesimal fraction of his being. Think about that. This gives Arjuna's duty a whole new cosmic perspective. He's not just fighting for a kingdom, he's playing his part in a grand, divine play.
So, armed with this profound wisdom about the eternal soul, about selfless action, and about the nature of God, Arjuna goes through a total and complete transformation.
You can just feel the shift here. The despair is gone. It's been replaced with total clarity and overwhelming gratitude. Arjuna gets it now. He realizes his confusion came from ignorance, from being too attached to temporary things like bodies and outcomes. He finally sees his path forward.
And just like that, the hero is back. He picks up his legendary bow, Gandiva. He's no longer confused, no longer grieving. He is ready to fight. Not out of anger or for personal gain, but as his sacred duty, as a selfless offering to the divine. He's ready to act.
You know, the Gita starts on a physical battlefield, but it ends on the battlefield within each of us. And it leaves us with this powerful, timeless question to think about. When we face our own unavoidable battles, our own moments of crisis and confusion, what is our duty? And how can we face it with courage and a clear purpose?